Good day, everyone. This is Joe Balbiran from Canada's Immigration Services, and I'm doing this video to give some clarification to avoid being scammed or to avoid your application being refused or rejected. You have to know the basic terminologies in Canada immigration. So for today, I will discuss the two words visa and status. These are two different words. You cannot use visa in the place of status, the same with status to visa. These two very simple words, very common words, but often misused. So first is that visa. This is actually the temporary resident visa or TRV. This is an official counterfoil document issued by the Canadian Visa Office. This is like the sticker sticked or placed on your passport after you had applied and been approved of a visa. That is for you to show upon boarding the plane, to show that you have met the requirements for admission to Canada as a temporary resident. So this visa enables you to enter Canada, but take note, this visa still not guarantee that you will be given entry to Canada. This entry will be decided by the border officers that is in the Canadian airport or USA-Canada borders if you do land trip. Visa is mandatory if you are from a visa required country. If you are from visa exempt country, you are exempted, of course, with a visa. What you have to show is electronic travel authorization or ETA. This visa or TRV has an issue date and an expiry date. That means you can enter Canada before. You should enter Canada before the expiry of your visa. If your visa is valid for 5 years or 10 years, usually visas are coincided with the expiry date of your passport. You can enter Canada even 100 times as long as your visa is valid. And of course, if it is multiple entry, because some TRVs are single entry. So once you're inside Canada, then you have to maintain your status. You don't need to maintain a valid visa because you're already inside Canada. So what are the temporary resident status? These are the visitor, workers, and students. If you are granted 6 months stay in Canada as a visitor, you have to apply to extend your status as a visitor if you plan to remain or extend your stay in Canada. Most foreign nationals ask me, Joe, my mother's visitor's visa will be expiring in 2 months. How to extend it? Before I answer that question, I have to ask, where is your mom currently residing? If inside Canada, they don't need to extend a visa. They have to know the expiry of the status as a visitor. So how to know the expiry date of the status? You have to know the exact date, the exact entry date of your mother to Canada. If upon entry she was given a visitor record, it will state there the expiry date of the status. If there is no visitor record issued by the Canadian border officer, some will put a stamp on the passport. If there is no handwritten date, that means she's allowed to stay for 6 months. If there is no stamp, it is still 6 months allowed stay. So even if your mother's visa expired a year ago, as long as her status as a visitor is valid, she is not in contravention of her allowed stay in Canada. She doesn't need to apply for a new visa. So when does she need to extend her visa? Visas cannot be extended. Once visa is expired and your mother will leave Canada and she plans to go back to Canada, that is the time that she has to apply for a new visa before she's allowed to board the plane and enter Canada. So for workers, you will know the expiry of your status as a worker in your work permit. For students, it is in your study permit. So workers and students, they have to apply to extend their work permit and study permit if they need to remain in Canada as a worker or student. If they plan to leave Canada and they need to apply for a new visa before they enter back to Canada, even if that is if their visa expired. Even if their work permit and study permit are still valid, they need to have a valid visa to enter Canada. Okay, so work permit, study permit is the status. As long as they're inside Canada, they have to maintain their status. They don't need to maintain visa. So for those that are planning to apply for a visitor visa or is holding a valid visitor visa right now, but still outside Canada, you are no longer eligible for that temporary public policy. Sorry, it is already too late. What is the temporary public policy? I discussed that in my previous video, that visitors in Canada are allowed to apply for a work permit without having to leave Canada. The requirement is not valid visitor visa. It is valid visitor status and must have entered Canada on or before August 24, 2020. And of course, you still need to have an employer and need to meet the work permit eligibility requirements. So hope this video helps in a little way, and thank you for watching, and please subscribe.